Budenholzer, after just one season with the team, Phoenix finished with a 36-46 record and failed to even make the play-in tournament. Now they'll have to search for a new head coach for the third consecutive year. The Suns spent $367 million in salary and luxury tax this season, the second most in total expenditures in NBA history behind the Warriors last season, but had one of their worst seasons in the last 6 years. They finished the season 4-22 when Durant and Booker both did not play and missed the playoffs for the first time in the last 4 seasons. Okay, Marcus, starting with you, how much blame does KD deserve for the Suns' failed season?
I wouldn't say he deserved blame, right? I think it's a collective. You have 3 head coaches in the last 3 seasons. As a player, like, how can I get comfortable with guys that's going in and out, right? Like, if I'm going into the locker room and we don't have a connection with this coach, me and the other guys are saying, like, how are we going to get past this? The coach's not listening. I don't know if he sees what we're seeing out there, right? And then you have a guy like Devin Booker that's been there with Phoenix, that got guys like KD and Bill to come, and then they switching out coaches each year, right? That is the upper management. They have to have some guy or get a guy that actually fits the mold. Yes, you want to see guys play better. Yes, you want to see them gel. It's Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. Like, that has to work some way, but you have to put the onus on the organization to get a guy that these guys can gel with, and you know that's going to be there.
So we're talking about blame pie, right? For the Phoenix Suns, it's not sweet potato. It's not a sweet pie. It's more like key lime. It's sour. So the blame pie is happening. That's what we're giving out slices to. I would say it's probably equal slices to, not only front office, coach, but players. Everyone has to take a little bit of the blame. I remember it was about a year ago, Stephen A. I don't know if you remember when I said this, but after the Suns got swept by the T-Wolves, Matt Ishbia got to the microphone and said, guess what? The house is not burning down. The house is not burning down. We have another season to get this right. Do you remember what I said on this program? I said, the roof is on fire. And it burned down. Yeah. It burned down. This is a cautionary tale to all owners about the impact of the second apron. Meaning, if you go deep into the second apron trying to form a big 3, that big 3 better be Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. It better be a miracle big 3. It better work, because otherwise it truly hamstrings you. And I do think that Kevin Durant is the one player that they can look to and say, all right, we have a no-trade clause here with Bradley Beal. Devin Booker's our lifer. Kevin Durant, it seems like he gets the blame, even though he had still a tremendous season. 27 points per game, played 60-plus games. So I think the blame goes all the way around.
Okay. I get it. Let's get this out the way. I don't know Matt Ishbia, the owner for the Phoenix Suns. Josh Bartlestein, the CEO of the Phoenix Suns. We're going to omit or remove James Jones from this equation because he was there when they went to the finals. So he obviously has a clue about what he's doing. We ain't going to put him in this mix. Matt Ishbia needs to understand that right now you are on the verge of being recognized as the worst owner in the history of basketball. That's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. Donald Sterling once owned an NBA franchise. James Dolan, until he recently hired Leon Rose, was on that trajectory. That's the trajectory, if you're Matt Ishbia, that you are on right now, being recognized as arguably the worst owner in the history of basketball. Why? Your team goes to the finals. Since that time, you come along, got rid of Chris Paul, got rid of DeAndre Ayton, got rid of Cam Johnson, got rid of these guys, ultimately Mikal Bridges, he's gone too. Got rid of Coach Monty Williams. Not only did you get rid of Coach Monty Williams, you hired Frank Vogel, got rid of him after 1 year. You got rid of Mike Budenholzer 1 year after signing him to a 5-year deal in excess of $50 million. You spent $214 million in salary this last season, about $152 million in luxury tax dollars, which was both tops for the NBA. Yes, you got Kevin Durant. Yes, you got Bradley Beal with $111 million left on his deal. But in the process, You've given up the farm, like damn near 8 first-round picks for crying out. I don't even know what number it is, okay? You've just depleted your assets along the way. No one is more culpable for this particular question than the ownership. 98% of their problems falls on ownerships and the decisions that they have made. But we got to leave the 2% for Kevin Durant because of this reason. You're the star. Yes, Devin Booker's a face of the franchise, and he's a terrific offensive player, and we get that part. And he seems to be a lifer with the Phoenix Suns. They got to take care of him. He's got 2 years left on his deal. He may want out. I don't think so, though. But when you look at Kevin Durant, we know what a baller he is. The issue is that, as I reported in the past, leadership. When we talked about Jimmy Butler wanting to go to Phoenix, why did we say that? It wasn't just because Jimmy Butler was going to give you 20 a night. It's because you knew that in that locker room, there was going to be somebody in there that wasn't considered soft, that wasn't considered somebody that, you know what, they're vulnerable. You can get up in them. Nobody's going to stop Kevin Durant. I'm not calling Kevin Durant soft. Please don't get me wrong. The brother's a Hall of Fame, one of the greatest players to have ever played basketball. But Kevin Durant, if you sit back and talk to him and watch his interviews and listen to him talk to people, what does he do? Hoop, man, get on the court. Hoop, hoop, hoop. That's all it takes. No, it's not. Not when you're assembling a team. Not when you're nurturing a team. Not when you're trying to elevate a team to championship caliber potential. This man was in Brooklyn, and over the last 5 years, he's been swept in the first round twice. He's gone past the first round once. He's missed the playoffs a couple of times. This is one of the greatest players we've ever seen. And this brother's home in April. And it's like we can't just look at him and say, well, you give us 26, 27 a night, and you're doing your job. Well, when you're that great, it calls upon you to be something more because your greatness demands it. We know what he can do as an individual, but in terms of to soak every bit of potential out of them, even in a bad coaching situation or a bad culture situation, it's hard and virtually impossible, as that may seem to some people. We have seen superstars in this league in bad conditions ultimately soak a little something more out of it than a 36-46 finish and being home and losing 9 of your last 10 games, even though they 3-17 without him. He on the court, that don't happen. But that's what we're talking about here when we're talking about Kevin Durant. That little element, that little extra oomph of leadership where you can soak out potential from others around you. That's what we're talking about. And that's where there's a touch of culpability. But most of it is on ownership, no doubt.
I have to agree with that in a small take, but Kevin Durant has never been a leader. He went to Golden State and won a championship. You had Draymond Green that was the leader of this team. If you're assembling a team, you have to know that this is not Kevin Durant's job to be the leader, to bring those guys in. Bring some other veterans that can get these guys going how they're supposed to. This is Devin Booker's team. Devin Booker can stand up and be able to be a leader as well. Kevin Durant has showed up every night. When he's on the court, as you said, he plays 26, 27 points a game. He scores the ball. Unfortunately, he has some minor injuries because when he is on the court, they play well. The West is a tough place to play, right? Like, let's just be clear. Every night he has tough opponents. I'm not saying Kevin Durant is a leader because we know he's not a leader. I'm not saying that he can't step into that role, but has he? He hasn't been a leader. When he was in Brooklyn, they had a